Alright, this is day 6. I said new president. Sorry, I still got to go back and talk about this. This is peaceful coexistence while it lasts. Okay? To end Korea, we signed what were called the Geneva Accords, Geneva Peace Talk, whatever. Um, and the spirit of Geneva was something that Khrushchev is going to later call in life peaceful coexistence. If you've ever seen the bumper stickers with the different religions and they spell out the word coexist, in other words, you don't have to like somebody wholeheartedly what they're doing. You simply have to respect it's their right to exist. You can't kill them. In other words, communism and democracy can coexist in the same world, and we don't have to fight about it. Sounds like a great concept. But in this video here, there are 3 events that challenge it and ultimately end it because we can't trust each other. Okay? Now, this is the first of what we call a Cold War thaw. Okay? And so the thaw, you have this of a brief struggle for power. Khrushchev brings up the idea of peaceful coexistence. He condemns Stalin. In other words, we're going to kind of chill things out. Things are going to be okay. Now, these next 3 events are what challenge that. The first is the Suez Crisis. Now, this is really, really difficult to understand. The Suez Canal is an important lifeline to England as the Panama Canal is to us. Egypt gets a new president named Gamal Nasser, and he goes through and quickly nationalizes the canal. That basically means he gets to decide who goes through. And so a lot of people go, whoa, 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 there should be freedom going through, and they don't like this. A nation which was composed mainly of Jews, Israel, will invade Egypt. Britain and France will enter as peacekeepers and begin bombing Egyptian positions. France and Britain are condemned at the United Nations, seeing this as an act of aggression. And something that is really, really interesting here, Dwight D. Eisenhower actually condemns it as well. The Western Alliance is ripped apart, us, Britain and France, and it looks very likely like we're about to go to war. However, in the end, a peaceful resolution was resolved. Gamal Nasser decided to basically let people go back to using the canal, but some seed of doubt has been cast here, and this is a difficult thing because we didn't stick with our boy England. What? Yeah. So that was the big deal there. Second event, and this is as silly as it sounds, and we're going to look at this in class, and it's great fun because it's ridiculous and over the top. Part of the peaceful coexistence was what was called a exchange of ideas. If I have something and you need to know about it, I'm going to give it to you. So as part of this idea, American contractors went and built a model home in Moscow to let the people come through and see, this is what you're going to get in a capitalist home. Nikita Khrushchev is there to sample this, and Eisenhower's not going to be there, but he's going to send his vice president, future president, Richard Milhouse Nixon. And what happens is nothing short of hilarity. Nikita Khrushchev and Nixon begin to fight over communism and capitalism in this model home in something that is called the kitchen debate. Basically, they're trying to one-up the other one about having these different things, and there's great clips we're going to see in class. But again, this shows these 2 men are supposed to be just looking at a great house and seeing how it is, and they can't stop fighting. They can't stop. They're like cats and dogs. They're just never going to see an end. However, the biggest of the 3 to kill peaceful coexistence is on its way. So first off, Paris, France, jumps in and basically said, we need to stop squabbling. Let's just end the Cold War now. And so they have a peace summit, and they're discussing all these many things that are going to go on and eventually put an end to the Cold War. And this could have been great. However, in the waning moments prior to this happening, a U-2 spy plane was shot down over Moscow. Now, the Soviets have been spying on us. That's not a big secret. They were upset because we were resorting to the same thing they were, and they said, oh my gosh, America, how can you be spying when we're spying? That makes you as bad as us. I know it's kind of petty and ridiculous, but that's what happens. But Francis Gary Powers is shot down He's put on trial. He's put in a work camp. He's later exchanged for other people. There's a big debate over he should have taken the cyanide capsule. Is he a traitor? All these different things. But the biggest thing of the U-2 incident is the Russians learned that we will spy on you. We will resort to the same tactics you are using, and so they've really got to up their game when it comes to that. The other big thing you see there, Khrushchev calls off the Paris Peace Summit. We are going to continue. And the 60s are probably the craziest time for the Cold War. New president, and the way he handles things, well, two new presidents actually, and the way they handle things are just kind of outwardly. We actually also get involved in a third geopolitical conflict in Vietnam, and all the things that come along with that. All right? So that's it for day 6.